Those are 3 ways to get your homeschooling child into college. Because your child can do it. They got brains. They got them from you. Hi, Carol here from Thatirishschoolhouse. Welcome to my channel. In case you don't know me, I'm a mom of 4. I homeschool my 6 and 4-year-old, and it is a great adventure. And as I am learning all of these experiences, I am sharing them with you. Today actually is a hot topic. As you can tell, I'm very full of myself with a blonde. Right, my first tip when you start homeschooling, especially in Ireland, or if you're thinking of coming to Ireland and homeschooling, is join some of the Facebook groups. This is where we, as moms and parents of homeschooling children, can share advice, experiences, our own opinions, and what we found worked, what didn't work, what we used, what we didn't use, just like real life on the ground stuff. Homeschoolers Ireland, oh, I think that's the name. I will have links of all the stuff that I'm talking about today. I will have links below. Definitely join the Irish Homeschoolers Facebook group. I think it's called Homeschoolers Ireland or Homeschooling Ireland. Lots of information. The admins are so knowledgeable. Really, really helpful. So do join that page, that group. And then there are different Facebook groups for different areas, for meetups and linking in with other homeschooling families. I definitely recommend, if you're thinking about homeschooling, just join one of those Facebook groups. You can get a ton of information just by reading what other people are asking. On one of my Facebook groups, there's a ton going on right now. A lot of questions being asked, and I'm gonna try and address them in a little mini series of videos. The first one, which I thought was quite a hot topic, is how can a homeschooling child get into college? I might ramble, so just be careful. I'll probably edit it so that all my rambling is gone. But so these are things that I've looked into, things that I know are definitely there, things that I think are there, and then my own personal opinion on each of them, and would I do it for my child, would I not do it for my child? If there's something that I've missed and you know of a way or something that the colleges accept in order to get in, then definitely comment below. I've also emailed Grania from Tusla, and I am waiting for her to get back to me with any extra information that in terms of exemptions for homeschoolers, or if there's an easier path or easier access to get into 3rd level education without jumping through all these hoops that I'm about to go through with you. The most common way to get into college in Ireland is through the Leaving Cert. This is the mode of contention for homeschoolers. I think this is where you branch into 2 different sectors. You have homeschoolers like me who do it mainly because we don't think that the school system is the best, and we can do a different job of it through different material and different curriculum and a different approach. And then you have other people who, probably even secondary school children, or even kind of 5th, 6th class children, or sorry, 5th or 6th year children, who either have special needs or behavioral issues or bullying, and they just don't want to go to school. As parents, you want to do what's best for your children, and if you see them doing the Leaving Cert, you want them to be able to do the Leaving Cert maybe from home. So you got these two kind of homeschoolers. You can do the Leaving Cert from home. It isn't ideal. It wouldn't be my first choice. It would be very, very difficult. You would have to jump through a lot of hoops in order to do the Leaving Cert from home. There are a number of different options of how to do the Leaving Cert. For those who, like me, see a different way for my kids to learn and experience things, Leaving Cert would not be my first option. But if my child expressed interest in doing the Leaving Cert, then the options for them at age kind of 16 plus would be private 1 or 2 year courses and then doing the Leaving Cert. I think the Institute and Ashfield do that. Or 2-year PLC Leaving Cert course, which is the full 2-year Leaving Cert course taught in a PLC or VEC college, which is kind of a mix. That would be my preference anyway. It's not like a secondary school. It's not uniformed. It's more like a college vibe in the fact that there will be people of all different ages. Ding, ding, ding for the homeschoolers. That's what we like. Broad age range. People of all different ages, stages in life, doing their subjects. And when your subject is on, you go to that class. When your subject is not on, you're free to do whatever you like. It's not like secondary school where you have to be in the building between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. walking in a one-directional system or whatever, and if your teacher doesn't arrive, you have to stay and do homework or whatever. No, they're treating you like an adult. So I think that's kind of a good in between. So yes, it's no longer technically homeschool because it's not done in the home. Like, your child is going to the VEC college to do that course, but it's more like a college campus feel. And that is, you can do the Leaving Cert. Oh, and that's actually, so from age 16, 17, and it's interview based. So you don't need to have any like entrance exam or academia or standardized testing in order to get that. Which actually, I think if your child wants to, oh, this is going on another thing, but if your child wants to do something like medicine or engineering or something that's really academic and high, and you know that they're well capable of it, then doing the Leaving Cert might be the kind of the flow that you want to go with them, because actually they do need to get points in order to enter their chosen field in college. So that's for the homeschoolers, which would be more kind of the doing it in a college type thing. Then for people who are dead against their child doing the Leaving Cert in classes away from the home, there are a few options. Youth Reach do a Leaving Cert program, and also homeschool.ie. I've heard, I haven't had personal experience with them myself, but just, looking into it and researching, homeschool.ie market themselves as an online secondary school, and they say they do the full Leaving Cert course in a certain number of videos. You have your teacher there, like I have looked at it, you have your teacher there, and I don't know how they do assignments or whatever, but so you do that. So you could be taught the course from home using homeschool.ie. Youth Reach, I think, is actually an outside of home resource. From what I've heard, I think it's more for absconders and things like that, so might not be the road you want to go down if your child doesn't have behavioral issues. It's up to you. I think looking into all these things and knowing that those options are out there is a good idea. Look into Youth Reach, look into homeschool.ie, look into the VEC courses if Leaving Cert is the way you want to go. As a homeschooling parent, you are going to have to advocate for your child, especially in a situation like the Leaving Cert. The other things that I'm going to talk about will make more sense and will flow into college a little bit easier. It won't be wait, you're homeschooling, you're doing the Leaving Cert, which I think actually people don't expect homeschoolers to do the Leaving Cert, and so it might be a little bit more difficult. You need to, if you don't do the Leaving Cert in a private institute, so like the Institute or Ashfield or a VEC college, or Youth Reach, if you don't do it in a place like that where that is a registered test center, and you do the course at home, then you're going to have to somehow make contact with registered test centers, get exam numbers, register your child, make sure that they are put on the roll for the particular correct exams. Then you also have the issue of the Leaving Cert course is a 2-year course. I would not be able to teach that. I think you could very easily get the books, very easily get past papers, but when it comes to the Leaving Cert, I would definitely put my trust in the teachers. Teachers have this knack. They're doing this for 10, 15, 20 years. They can see patterns. Every 2-year course is different. So every teacher is teaching 2 blocks. So they're teaching a 5th year student, which is doing one course, and a 6th year student, which is doing a different course. So people doing the Leaving Cert course are looking 2 years ago, what were the exam questions? And 4 years ago, what were the exam questions? 6 years ago, what were the exam questions? And there are patterns, and the teachers are pretty good at seeing a pattern and predicting what is probably going to be on the test. And I found that invaluable when I was doing my Leaving Certificate. We're talking about that in another video, so I won't go too much into that, but I think that is where teachers come into their own. Like, they know their stuff. They do these papers, they do these books day in, day out. They know how the system works. The Leaving Cert is not trying to figure out how much you know, how good of a student you are. It's how much can you learn and regurgitate on the day, in my opinion. Again, that's another video, so I'll keep my opinions to myself. So if you're going to go down the Leaving Cert path, like I said, I think it is wise when your child is of an age, 16, 17, and they want to use that path to get into college, I think it just makes sense to do a PLC course, VEC course, something like that, where the onus is on the person who has the experience. That is the first way that a homeschooling child can access third level education, is through the Leaving Cert. The second way that a homeschooling child can access third level education, according to what I have looked into, is a FETAC course. So on the NQI, which is National Qualification the Leaving Cert is a level 4, level 5 course. If you do a level 4 and then a level 5, or if you just go into a level 5 FETAC course, you can then, on the back of that, gain entry to college. And I think what's good about that is that you don't necessarily have to do a Leaving Cert course. You don't necessarily have to do an academics-based course in order to maybe go into, Dunleary Design College or something like that, because you don't need all those qualifications in order to get in there. So I think FETAC level 5 and then heading in that direction is a great way to do it. The FAI do a football course. You come out with a certificate, a level 5 FETAC course in gym personal training or something like that. You also have certain credits that go towards a college application. Where the FETAC would come into its own is when your child would maybe want to do arts or business or something that isn't hugely strong academically. Maybe wanted to do even hairdressing, cosmetology, beauty, apprenticeship, something like that. They need a year to get something on paper, because homeschoolers, do we keep records? Well, I don't know about when I'm older, but right now I don't. So I think that's kind of a good, simple 1 year. You've done your thing. You don't want to do the Leaving Cert. You do your FETAC course, FETAC level 5, even childcare, FETAC level 5, and that can then kind of give you credits towards your college application. Where it falls down, unfortunately, is certain courses require certain results on subjects. For example, primary school teaching. You need to know Irish. My children are not learning Irish right now, even with Irish exemptions. To be a primary school teacher, you need to know Irish. And so for things like that, that's when, if your child knows they want to do that, then they're gonna pull out all the stops in order to learn Irish, because that is the course they want to do, that is what they want to do. And maybe then going into extra grinds and the leaving cert in a VEC school is the way to go. But if they want to do business or horticulture, or if they want to be a guard, you know, well, actually you need Irish to be a guard. That was a bad example. But there are other professions that you don't need huge qualifications in order to get into. Institutes of technology have very low leaving cert points requirement. So they also, some of them, again, this is course to course dependent, and you would need to know your child. Your child would need to look into it. What's their area of interest? Is it journalism? Is it arts? Is it business? Is it law? And then where you can do that, and what are the requirements of that exact course in that exact college or institute of technology or university, and then doing what they need to do in order to get that. So FETAC can be the way to go to get into certain courses. Again, it's up to you and your child how you want to do it. I don't think there's a huge amount. I'm just keep it for another video, Carol. I don't think there's a huge amount of need for every single child to do the leaving cert, put themselves under that much pressure when they don't even need it. We're looking at 3 ways to get into third level education. First, that we looked at was the leaving cert. Second was a FETAC course using a FETAC level 5 in order to gain entry or gain credits to go on your application to enter an IT or university or college. The third is a little bit more complicated. I don't have as much experience with these ones, so I hope my information is correct. I'm going to put a lot of links below, so do your own homework, do your own research. I'm just trying to make it a little bit more succinct. There's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of ways to get to college, so these are just a few. Third way is standardized testing. Not the leaving cert, but there are quite a few other options of standardized testing. In Ireland, you can do the GCSEs, you can do A-levels, you can do SATs. So they are the SATs in the American version of leaving cert, I guess, and the GCSEs and A-levels are the UK version. So where those would be helpful is obviously they are the leaving cert equivalent that the colleges in those particular countries accept on their college admissions. My friend did her SATs and gained entry to an American college based off her SAT score. I will have links below. Don't have a huge amount of information, I assume, and to be honest, like the leaving cert, my bias would be you are then not really left to homeschool the way that you choose. The wise thing to do if you're doing standardized testing is to follow the course that they want you to follow, because the information that they're going to be pulling the questions from is in that course. So the best thing you can do for your child, if you expect them to do those sort of exams, is to follow the course. That's a bit restrictive from my perspective, or from my choice right now. That might change. Next week or tomorrow I'll be like, my child's doing the leaving cert and I'm going to teach them myself. So this could be this is very changeable. The other option out there, which I think is we had addressed slightly in one of my previous videos, the ACE curriculum is accepted by the ICCE, and that then is recognized by quite a lot of universities. So it's recognized with the CAO, it's recognized in the UK, and it's also recognized in America. Actually, it's recognized as the homeschool equivalent, the ICCE, which is based off of the ACE course. I'll put links below. I know this is a lot of ABCDs. And that is an option. I had a conversation with Heather about her experience doing the ACE course, the pros and cons. I'll link it below so you can have a quick look at it. I think it would potentially be an option if I wanted my child to stay home, be homeschooled from home, not do the leaving cert up until they were 18, do the bulk of their education at home from a particular curriculum that would be recognized to do to go straight into university. Then the ACE is the route I would go down. I think I've noticed you can do it from primary school. Some people once they hit kind of first year age, start their kids, but my friend Heather, previous video, hi Heather, she started when she was in third year equivalent. So she did third, fourth, fifth and sixth. So she only did the final 4 years and still got a qualification out of it. So it's something to look into. That is a Christian homeschooling course, Christian-based homeschooling course. Those are 3 ways to get your homeschooling child into college. Because your child can do it. They got brains. They got them from you. Bye.